Welcome to Big Forest, Tiny Cabin. I'm Sam. I live with my husband Jake and our dog Bullet in the wilds of the Superior National Forest. We used to live in a one-bedroom apartment in a large city. We both had jobs that we liked and things were going good. But, like a lot of people, we were looking for a change. We wanted to own our own land and work for ourselves. So we made a plan. And in this video, I'm going to show you the first walkthrough on our new property. This is the highway that leads to the forest road to access our property. The driveway is about a quarter mile down the forest road. We were lucky in that the forest road is wide, level, and well maintained. It is a public road, but because of our distance from the nearest town, it's hardly used. In the summertime, we typically see a couple of vehicles each day. In the winter, the forest roads are not plowed. We have to plow it ourselves, but we have a good truck and it's an easy job. Coming into the driveway itself, you can see that the previous owners were parking down at the base of the hill and walking up and down. The driveway was too steep for our car in the winter, but we planned on selling the car and driving our truck. The truck has four-wheel drive, so the driveway isn't going to be an issue. My guess is that a long time ago, when this property first started being developed, it was simply a two-track. The two-track extends from the forest road through the property and to the river, where there's a high point overlooking the water. It looks like it was publicly used for hunting, fishing, and camping in the past. The property is undeveloped for the most part. Everything you see here is what's been done to it by the previous owner. There is a small one-room cabin with a loft inside. There's a solar array, a large tent, and two shelter lodges. If you're not familiar with those, they're basically a tubular steel frame with a poly cover on it. They work fine in the summer as a temporary building, but I'm concerned they might not be strong enough to hold the snow load. The cabin is about 7 years old. It was built by the previous owners and is in good condition. The loft upstairs with a bed, wood stove in the center of the room, we have a nice big utility sink, although it isn't plumbed, some shelving, and a small propane camp stove for cooking. The light strings that you see in here are Christmas lights and fairy lights running on AA batteries, along with two LED light strips that are powered by two 12-volt batteries. This was the only power in the cabin when we arrived. The previous owners told us that they charged these batteries each day using a solar generator. The gun safes are nice. I think the recliner is too big for the room, but you know, it's a chair. And that's the toilet that you see in the corner of the room. Without the previous owners here to ask what the story is, I'm going to make an assumption that they were intending to put up two small walls to corner off that section of the cabin and make it a tiny bathroom. But plans changed and it never got finished. The loft, with its additional 150 square feet, has space for a bedroom upstairs and some storage area. The cabin is only a 15 by 20, but with the loft, we end up with 450 square feet of floor space. And even though it's a one-room cabin, the loft makes it feel like there's two rooms. We're happy to have the cabin, However, it's really just a bonus. What we were looking for was the land itself. The things that were important to us when selecting a piece of property were the long-range things that we couldn't change. The cabin is adaptable and we can change or add to it in the future. The grills, smokers, and chairs that you see came with the property also. Basically, we told them that any item they didn't want to take with them could be left behind and we would try to find a use for it. The house came with a spacious, well-ventilated shower and a picnic table. Up on the hill, you'll see the solar setup. This again came with the house, but at a total of 400 watts, we knew it wouldn't meet our needs. We planned to upgrade the solar system over time. This tent and the shelving that you see came along with the property. We were told that this was where they lived their first year before building the cabin. Unfortunately, the tent didn't make it through our first winter. We weren't on the property when we bought it in February because we were still at our jobs in another state. Sometime between the purchase and when we moved, snow load collapsed it. There wasn't a whole lot left of the tent, but the shelving and everything inside made it just fine. That's the chest freezer they powered using the solar system. You can see that they had 5 batteries hooked up to the 400-watt solar array. This and a backup generator is what they used to run the freezer. These are the property line markers that were put up by the land survey company that we hired. The company did a great job of marking all of the borders and corner points. We paid a slightly higher price to have the flags set closer together than the standard spread. To us, it was worth the extra cost to have clearly defined property borders. This is the forest road that leads back to the highway. The other direction continues through the forest and eventually joins with the small county highway on the other side. In this drone shot of the property, the large structure you see on the left is the cabin, the rectangular shape on the right is the tent you saw, and at the bottom, the two small gray rectangles are the shelter lodges. So this is all the development on the property at the time of purchase. The rest of the property is forest, with the river running through it. Here in the lower center, you'll see the cabin and tents and a couple vehicles at the base of the driveway. You can see that the property is isolated. There's very little around for almost a 5-mile radius. And although there are sections of privately owned property in here, most of the land is state and federal owned. We're very happy with the cabin and the land. We've been here for about 3 years now and have tried to make steady progress. There is a lot that we want to do with our new home, and sometimes it seems like the changes don't happen fast enough. But we knew this was going to be a big change in our life and that it would take time. I'm going to be posting more videos soon about how we got the money together, what we considered important to us when searching for our land, how we found our off-grid property, and the steps we went through to purchase it. I hope to have them posted soon, so hit that subscribe button to join us on our off-grid adventure, and we hope to see you next time.